welcome back to Easy Cooking with Linda B. Tomorrow is our awesome Dr. Marie's birthday, and we will be celebrating it with her during lunch hour tomorrow. And I will be making her a birthday cake. I try to make one every year for our doctors to help them celebrate their special day. So the cake that I will be making for you today is a white cake with a strawberry filling in between each layer and a cream cheese topping with walnuts. And I'm going to show you how to put it all together. I will be making a 3-layer cake. Now, yesterday, I have already made the cakes. These are white cakes, and I used a simple box mix. All you do is just follow the instructions on the box, let them cool completely. I wrap them, put them in my refrigerator to have them ready for today. So I'm going to start out by making the filling. So I have 1 16-ounce bag of frozen strawberries that are mostly thawed. I have 1 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 3/4 cup of sugar. And to make the frosting, it's very simple. I use cream cheese, Cool Whip topping, and I'm also going to use some walnuts. So now the first thing we'll put together is the filling. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, I have my saucepan here heating up. I'm going to add my 1 cup of water. I'll say that was hot. 1 cup of water. And then I'm going to sprinkle in my cornstarch. And give this a stir. I don't want this clumpy, so I just want to make sure that the cornstarch has thinned out. But I need it as my thickening, so that's why I'm using this. Another thing I'm going to do is add in my strawberries. Mix them in here. Looks like I may even need to put in a little more water. I'm not sure. Honey, can you get a good shot in here so they could see? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to increase my heat because it has cooled down some. And now I'm going to add in my sugar. Again, I'm not sure if I want to use this much. I'm going to maybe add about a 1/2 cup, which would be right there. And then I'm going to stir this in, and then we're going to let this cook probably for about 10 minutes or until it gets thickened. And if I need to add some water along the way, I will. I'll taste it. If I need to add more sugar, I will. And there's one other ingredient that I need to get, and I'll show you what it is. Okay, so now what I want to add to freshen up these strawberries is a little bit of lemon juice. I think I'm going to put in about a tablespoon right there. So now I'm going to mix this all together. My pan is getting hot. I'm doing this over medium heat. Okay, so I'm going to let these cook and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so this has been cooking for close to 10 minutes. I did add a little bit of water, but you notice how it's not as cloudy. Adding that lemon juice really brightens up the strawberries, not only the flavor, but also the color. And this is exactly what I want it to be. The only thing is that I don't want the big chunkies strawberries in the cake because it may throw the layers off balance. So you could either use your immersion blender. I'm just going to use my potato masher. And I want to break some of these down a little bit. I don't want big, huge chunks. So I'll get these mashed down. And then what I'm going to need to do after I'm through mashing these, put them in my bowl, put it in my refrigerator, and then let it cool completely before I assemble the cake. I'll show you what we do. Okay, now while the strawberries are cooling in the refrigerator, I'm going to make the frosting. So I have my 1 8-ounce bar of cream cheese softened, and I want to give it a blend first so that I could cream everything together. So I'm going to work with this a little bit on low, just to get it soft so I can mix together the Cool Whip and the confectioner's sugar. And I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you at the opening of my video that I'm going to be using 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar. Don't need a lot for this because the Cool Whip itself is very sweet. So I'm going to mix these together. Okay, now that I've got that incorporated, I'm going to turn off my mixer, see if I can get all that cream cheese off these beaters. Okay. So now the next thing I will do is I'm going to take my Cool Whip, and I have 1 8-ounce container here. And I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to need, but I'll play with this as I go along. I'll be able to tell by sight how much I'm going to need. So what I'm going to do here is just carefully fold in my cream cheese to the Cool Whip. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to add some more Cool Whip. And I'm going to continue to fold until it's all incorporated. Then I'm going to add some of the walnuts and mix them in too. But I'll show you what it all looks like. Okay, now I'm going to start to assemble the cake. Here's the frosting. Most of it I'll probably be using on the inside, and I'll add more Cool Whip to this to make the outer frosting. So what I have here is a plastic bag with just a round piping tip, which I'm going to stick into my glass here. It just makes it easier to spoon my mixture in. So what I need to do at this point is make a ring around the top of my cake. And the reason I'm doing this is to help with the puree, which is the strawberries, to stay on the inside of the cake and not seep on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to now get this together here. Push it down. Turn the bag. Move this a little so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now we're going to start right around the edge here. I'm securing the tip because there's the walnuts are in here and they may pop through the bag. So I have to hold on to it to avoid that situation. So just keep making a dam full of frosting all the way around the edge like this. Okay, so now what I will do is take some of the strawberry filling, put it in the center here. I don't want to put too much in at once. I don't want to make this bottom layer too heavy. So I'm going to smooth it out with a spatula. And I'm going to need to add some more. Always add just a little bit at a time. Like that. Smooth it right out to the frosting edge. Maybe just a little bit more right here. Okay, just like that. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 layers. I'll unwrap them, place it on top, build the dam of frosting all the way around the edge, and then go ahead and put in more of the puree. So what I will do, once that's done, I need to refrigerate it so it all sets up, and then we're going to go on to frosting it. Okay, so all 3 layers are now assembled. And as you can see, I added just a little more of the cream around the edge, the frosting, to kind of fill it in and keep it balanced. Now at this point, it's going into the refrigerator, set up probably for about an hour. And then I'll put the frosting on it and I'll show you what it all looks like when it's done. Okay, so the cake has been in the refrigerator for an hour now. And now what I want to do is top it with some frosting here. So I'm going to scoop some out. And I did add more whipped cream or Cool Whip to the mixture I had here because it wasn't enough. So what I'm going to do now is just spread it all over the top, just like that, and bring it down the sides. Just like this. You want to go carefully not to gouge the cake. So this will be kind of like a crumb coat, this first layer, just to help seal the cake in so it doesn't come apart. And then when I have it all frosted, I'll show you what it looks like completed. Okay, I've finished frosting the cake, and this is what it looks all the way around. Okay, now tomorrow I will come back to you and I'm going to show you how I decorate it. Now I need to get it back into the refrigerator to get it all set up. Hi, today is Friday, and in a couple of hours I'll be going over to the office to serve the cake. But I already started decorating it. What I did was I took strawberries, fresh strawberries. They were large, and I cut them into small triangles. And what I'm doing is outlining the bottom of the cake with the strawberries. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want everyone to know what is actually in this cake. So it is strawberry filled, and the strawberries will clue them in as to what's in here. So this also gives it a nice little edge, just like that. Okay, and that's how it looks all the way around. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to work with flowers. I have some really pretty pink or almost fuchsia colored flowers with some baby's breath. I've wrapped them in some plastic, and I'm going to set them on the cake. So just bear with me. This takes a little bit of time, a little bit of thought as to how I want to place them. Okay, so I put a little carnation of flowers together here, a little bouquet, and I am going to stick them right inside of the cake here, like that. And then I have some baby's breath here that I will put in behind it, going in at an angle, like that. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to take my single little flowers here and poke them in here too. And when I do this, the baby's breath will make these flowers stand right out. Let me see, I got another little bouquet here. Well, actually, let me do this. I'm going to put the baby breaths here on this side. It's just whenever you're working with flowers, you don't really want to put the stem directly into the cake unprotected. So you really do want to wrap foil or plastic wrap or something around it. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to show you what I have started so far. I'm going to work on this, get it all put together, and then you could see the finished product. All right, this is what I have so far. I don't want to put too many flowers in it. It will just take over the whole cake. But I think I have enough here. And I got these really neat candles at my grocery store. They have different colors here. I was going to use white, but I'm afraid the white is going to disappear in with the cake. So I decided I'm going to use like a baby's blue. And I have a starter here. I want to make sure I have this centered to the cake. And I think we have it. So there it is. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. I'm not a cake decorator by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love flowers, and I think they're beautiful in cakes, and especially for a beautiful person who is going to receive this cake today. I hope you enjoyed watching my video and me making this beautiful cake for a very special person. And remember, enjoy life and never stop learning. Bye now.